At the Capitol with Representative Shane Jett. Shane, thank you for stopping in mylegislator.tv.
Daniel, it's a pleasure to be here and be able to update once again our constituents in the area to let them know what their money is doing up here at the Capitol.
Well, hopefully always together we're building community, and that's what we want to talk about today, is jobs for our community. Talk a little bit about some of the hubbub that's going on concerning jobs.
Well, right now, I mean, that seems to be the #1 question on everyone's mind. Am I going to have a job? What's the economy going to be doing? And fortunately for Oklahoma, because of the way that our economy is structured, our #1 market segment is petroleum, and that's taking a beating right now. And Devon, in fact, announced a few $billion setback in some of their projected earnings. So, and that's one of our largest employers. You also have agriculture, which is huge, and that's subject to climate change as well as the vagaries of Oklahoma weather. So these are issues that are important, and we did some statewide polls that were announced to our caucus that said the #1 issue on Oklahomans' minds today is predominantly how's the economy doing. Well, I believe that Oklahoma, because of the way we're positioned economically, we've done a lot better than a lot of the other states because we're in petroleum. But because petroleum prices are going down, we're starting to see some retrenching in the petroleum area. So what can we do to make sure that Oklahoma continues to grow? Well, we need to continue to support our petroleum industries, making sure that they have as a competitive market here in Oklahoma as they possibly can. We also need to be sending word to our congressional delegation to oppose some of the Obama increases in taxes, because all that's going to do is mean it's going to be less profitable to search for oil in Oklahoma and Texas and surrounding area, and they're going to start looking for it other places where the taxes are more helpful to exploration. So we need to be very, very vigilant that federal policy doesn't start eating away at Oklahoma's economic prosperity. That's a concern of mine. What else can we do locally for Shawnee and the surrounding area and Seminole is we need to be putting positive reinforcement to the governor's office to let him know that we passionately care about the rail line being fully maintained and brought up to full utilization from Shawnee to Oklahoma City. But not only that, we need to reopen the line between Shawnee and McAllister. And one of the important things is when I go out and knock doors in my house district, and I know Chris Still is the same way, Representative Still, is a lot of our guys used to work out at GM, but now many of them are working out at Tinker Air Force Base. We had a very interesting report from one of our colonels out of Tinker that said if we can get the line open between Shawnee and the ammunition plant down in McAllister, it would BRAC-proof Tinker Air Force Base, and that's the Base Realignment Commission that looks at closing every few years. They look and see what bases are economically useful and which ones need to be retrenched or shut down. We don't want that to happen in Oklahoma. One of the ways to do that is open that rail line, because it creates logistic explosives and other distribution that are manufactured down in that plant, allows them to get to Tinker Air Force Base. As it stands right now, because that rail line is closed, you have to go up to Kansas or down to Texas to get anything from there to Oklahoma City, which is nuts. And if you ask the question, why do we do that? It's because the longer the rail company can keep that merchandise on the rails, the more money they pay. The longer the miles they run on that track, the more money they make. So we have a private sector company that is, in effect, keeping hostage the economic development up and down that line from Seminole, Wewoka, all the way down. We have the brick company in Wewoka that if they had access to that line would cut down significantly their costs for transportation and allow them to export out of Oklahoma. So not just Tinker Air Force Base, but all that entire line is key to economic development. If you want to bring in plants into Oklahoma for manufacturing, one of the #1 questions they ask is, do we have access to rail line? So if we don't address this issue, we're going to continue to languish with economic development opportunities, but if we can send a concerted message to the governor's office to support him in his efforts to get Oklahoma in control of its destiny by owning that rail line, then we're going to be miles ahead and be able to really start building on economic development. That's a huge tool. So that's something that we can do locally right now here in Oklahoma, despite what they're doing in Washington, D.C., to take control of Oklahoma's destiny and make sure that we're economically sound.
I know on Monday's memo, SEDF, or Shawnee Economic Development Commission's Monday update, Representative Jett, Executive Director Tim Berg made mention of the vital need to upgrade and keep that railway between Shawnee's industrial area all the way to Oklahoma City. And that, to me, says that if we can extend that all the way to Muskogee, that opens up industrial areas like the one that employs so many for Shawnee all across that line.
That's right. And my understanding is there's a lot of rock quarries and aggregate that could be mined out of that area. Instead of purchasing from Texas, why don't we purchase from farmers and landowners right here in our own backyard to share that economic prosperity with Oklahomans instead of another state? So there's a lot of economic opportunity, and Tim's doing a great job. I get his email updates as well, and I really appreciate the work he's doing and the passion he's put into that job. But that's exactly right. He's on point. We have to take advantage of the fact that we have a governor who understands the economic issues of Shawnee and Pottawatomie County, Seminole County area, and make sure that we have a unified voice saying that we support him in his efforts to get that line back open.
And of course, Transportation Director Phil Tomlinson doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Danny Overland up there on the commission.
That's right.
Just great local people doing a good job for transportation. And I don't want this topic to be confused with an issue that's happening in Oklahoma City with the crosstown rebuild of I-40. This is a totally different line and a totally different issue.
That's right. This has nothing to do with the crosstown issue that's been in the papers quite a bit lately. There's been a lot of push, and I'm supportive of rail development, period. Because rail development means there's less truckage on the road that are beating up our highways. I'm very supportive of the trucks and the trucking industry, but what we're looking for is ways to get even more product efficiently through Oklahoma. So this has nothing to do with that. It actually has to do with freight going up and down through Hughes County, through Seminole County, Pottawatomie, up to Oklahoma County. So this is a completely different rail issue. Again, I'm supportive of rail because it's good for Oklahoma.
In being supportive, today we have Family Day up at the Capitol, and you have a lot of support. In fact, I said as he walked in the room, he has his prettiest shadows ever.
So far today, these are the prettiest shadows I've ever had the privilege of having with me up here at the Capitol. I have Sheridan Lee, and I have Rachel Chan. Now, these two young girls are with...
Wait a second.
Yes. These two girls are with the All Saints Catholic School in Norman, and Rachel here, her mom is actually the Navy recruiter who recruited me into the U.S. Navy. So that's how the relationship developed. This is Family Day, just happened to be the day that we chose for them to come up and watch the legislative process in place. And again, a great program that we have, shadowing for the younger kids, and then the PAGE program. If you're 14 to 18 and you'd like to watch the legislative process as it goes on, contact my office. We've got about 5 slots a year. We love to have the young people to come up and watch on a daily basis what exactly we do for 1 week, and we have one of the best PAGE programs in the nation. So contact my office and let's get you on the schedule so you can come up and watch what's going on. It's your tax dollars at work, and it's you may as well come up and enjoy it.
Well, and let's talk to your lovely shadows today. Tell me your name.
Sheridan Lee. Rachel Chan.
It is so nice to have Sheridan and Rachel with us on mylegislator.tv. Tell us, Sheridan, what brought you to the Capitol today?
Rachel's mom, as Representative Jett said that Rachel's mom recruited him into the Navy. She asked if Rachel could bring one more friend, and I guess that was me.
It sounds great. Rachel, have you had a good day so far?
Yes, I have.
What kind of things have you seen happen at the Capitol?
I have seen people talking a lot. And I've been introduced to a lot of people, and I've just been having a lot of fun watching Representative Jett.
And that's perfect, Rachel, because up at the Capitol it can be fun, because we all impact legislation. Sheridan, tell us who your teacher is and what school you attend and where you're from.
I'm from Norman, Oklahoma, and I go to All Saints Catholic School in Norman, and my teacher's Miss Benduer.
And your teacher, Rachel?
Miss Adam.
And isn't it nice that your teachers allowed you to come up today?
Yes. Yes, it is.
A lot of fun, as always. Representative Shane Jett, thank you for introducing us to your lovely assistants today, and thank you, as always, for being with us.
Daniel, thank you so much, and for all the team at legislator.tv for making this possible for us to get the word out that this is a family-friendly place, and we care about your tax dollars being spent wisely, and just appreciate what you do to make us have a voice in our community.
Thanks, girls.